Okay, I'm live.
All systems go on this end.
Okay, good. Um, okay, so something that's never happened in the history of us doing podcasts, maybe in the history of podcasts in general. This is how serious this is. Um, we were gonna do the Eagles segment at the end because I figured you guys are gonna talk for 40 minutes, and I wanted to talk about the other games that are more important for next week. And then Scoop comes in here and what Brandon? What did you just say? He sounds like.
Like it, I mean, it might be an exaggeration, but when you first came on, you sounded like this, like that the first couple words you spoke, and I just compared it to Patrick Mahomes if he was a chain smoker. So like
Like
it can't get any froggier than that. It can't get any more
it,
Kermity than that.
so Scoop is getting. I'm gonna make Scoop do his Eagles spiel, and then I'm gonna tell him to leave for medical safety provisions because Scoop's voice right now is so bad that if I make him do the rest of the show, he will not be able to make it to tomorrow. He just won't. Like this
It's
is
like
not
it's like
okay.
it's like it's like in the NFL. It's like having a player play through injury in a game, like being a game time decision, playing through injury in a game, and then having to pull him once he tweaks it or before he tweaks it just for his own safety. It's
Yes,
like
that's
yeah,
what's happening. Scoop. So Scoop, Brandon, myself, Robert, Shane is in Hawaii on a beach. So,
that's so random when you think about that.
um, all right, Scoop. Try to get as close to your computer as possible so that we can hear you.
I want
The-
ASMR.
like this has to be please, and please tell us your whole experience, anything you want to say about the game in any amount of time, and then I will have you exit stage left.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Well, yeah. So as y'all know, I went to the Eagles Bills game today, and holy crap, that like element wise, I was not surprised at all that that was a defense heavy game because oh my god, I don't like that. That was absolutely brutal, and that was brutal for people who were entirely bundled up. Like it was insane. Whether it was the rain, whether it was the wind, whether it was whatever it ended up being at any given moment, it was just not. In fact, every time Jake Elliott went up to make a kick, I was thinking, "There's no freaking way he makes this," because of all of that going on. And of course, he managed to go perfect tonight. So thank God for that. But yeah, again, defense played absolutely lights out. Just super excited to see how they've been doing. All credit to Vic Fangio. I don't think it's a an overstatement to say that he probably deserves the overwhelming majority of the credit for today's win. And I sorry about that background noise, but I didn't take some of the same issue as some Eagles fans did with a couple of things. One of the things I did take issue with, Devontae Smith got to snag that in the I think it was the late third or the early fourth quarter.
I thought he did. Oh, it's about the deep shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deep shot.
Yeah,
He's got to have that. He knows he's
yeah.
got to have that. If he was, I don't know if he was asked after the game, but I know he'd say he's got to have that. But just we I wouldn't say we went pass heavy in the second half, but we certainly did more passing attempts than we should have, given what the weather was. I would have just kept, and this is what I don't get. This is like the third time this season that I love the game that we're calling in the first half, and then it's like we build up a 2-score lead at halftime, and then it's just like we go from playing to win to playing not to lose. Now I will say this: in the elements of today, it at least has some level of defensibility, but it's just because we've seen it so many damn times this season that it's like it's worn on us, if that makes sense. And so help me God, if they had converted that 2-point at the end of the game, I was going to lose my damn mind. I didn't expect this to be a high scoring game. I said going into the game, I could see this being, 14-11 or something of that nature. but it wasn't the score per se. It was the manner in which it arrived at that score,
Mhm.
and that
Right,
was
yes.
and that was the frustrating thing because Saquon was eaten. You know, we said this before the game. It was going to come down to which team made the big play and or which team made the big mistake. And we made plenty of big plays. We got the fumble. We got the couple of the big hits. Excuse me, sorry. You know, we forced them into uncomfortable situations that resulted in penalties. Like after that first one or two drives, Philly really had all the momentum for the next 3 quarters.
Mhm.
After those first couple where it looked like Buffalo maybe had a little bit of a slight edge, Philly really had the momentum the next 3 quarters. And I can take this one of two ways because it's really easy for me to say one way or the other. It's really easy for me to look at this and say, well, this team's leaving so much meat on the bone and still winning. You know, if they're able to, you know, put it all together, then they'll be unstoppable. But the problem is that it's now week 16 or week 17, what the hell ever, and
It's week 17, yeah.
and we're still saying that. So the other and perhaps more logical, you know, takeaway is that this is what they are. They're always going to be a team that, you know, is going to, you know, have A level potential and perform like more like a B to a B minus team, and you know that's immensely frustrating as well. So, you know, I didn't hate the conservative play calling in the second half the way that some people did, but I will say I understand where they're coming from with that. But I also want them to know that what you saw on TV in terms of the weather and the elements doesn't do it justice. It was freaking brutal out there. We had to leave in the third quarter, and almost everybody else in our section left in the third quarter as well. So
because it was that bad weather. No, because we saw it on TV and we were like, how are you managing this? Which
okay,
I completely understand. I completely
Yeah.
understand you having to leave because that's awful, dude.
Yeah.
well,
It doesn't matter how good the game
couldn't
is.
tell. I couldn't tell how much was coming through on the television because I know sometimes it's hard to tell, but it was just like for not just us to leave, but for that many people to leave that early when the game was still really within the reach of either team, and obviously a significant game late in the
That's
season.
the most respectable way to leave a game that close when the weather's that bad.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, a lot of fans would have, you know, tried to, and I did try to stick it out as long as I could, but like it was just like it was when they say bone chilling and just everything else, it was just completely zapping the experience for so many people, and you know, it was funny because so obviously you got the teams will switch end zones in I think it's second and third quarter and then first and fourth quarter. And
Yeah.
we were pretty close to one end zone. So I'm either looking right dead on at the teams when they're down on our side, or I'm like finding this like little like hole of a birdhouse in between two people's jackets to see down to the other. And it was just
Scoop, what I will tell you is what Brand and I saw on TV
yeah.
was just the mostly the first half. We saw like the cameras had so much water in them and stuff, and we know they use so much tech to like remove water and stuff.
Yeah.
Scoop, there was a point in the game where the grass literally changed color because there was so much
torrential downpour.
It was,
Yeah.
and for a brief period of time, it looked like there was a break in that. But of course, what happens when a front like that starts to pass through? Then the temperature is going to drop 20 degrees.
Yep.
So now it's no longer raining, but now it's probably, if it was 40 degrees prior, we're probably looking at 30 at that point. And
right.
um,
I don't blame you for leaving at all because I think any smart person would leave in the third quarter of a game like that when it's that bad weather-wise. I don't blame you one bit. I really don't.
Yeah, but but in terms of the quality of the game, I felt like I was watching two different games because from like midway through the first quarter until midway through the third quarter, it just felt like this is what we expected Philly to be there. And then I don't know what happened. It really started with that 3 and out, I would say, which was about 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah.
I think it really started there. and then they couldn't reabsorb the momentum, and you basically knew that it's going to come down to a defensive stop that's going to get the momentum back if it ever does. And sure enough, that defensive stop literally happened as time expired on a goal line stand to get them to stop or to prevent the 2-point conversion when they already had gotten a second attempt at the freaking at the end zone.
Yeah, and then on the Buffalo side, Scoop, did you notice a lot of what has pissed you off with them throughout the year in person? Did it kind of represent itself as much as you would have expected, or no?
Well, so here's the thing, and I mentioned this to you guys earlier. Whoever, and both sides deserve criticism of it. Philly's coaching staff easily outcoached Buffalo's coaching staff today.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And by the way, Philly's coaching staff wasn't even that good either, so that tells you a lot.
It's just I am so over the McDermott, Brady, all of that.
Yeah.
And
it's completely fair, yeah.
And just the stuff that I'm listening to, and I'm watching them because I'll get because I still have the updates on my phone that I would normally get if I were at home. So I'm getting these commentary updates on my phone while I'm watching the game, and every so often I'll check, and it's like big conversion on 3rd and 7 for Josh Allen. I'm like, you would expect any quarterback in the NFL to make that. I'm sorry. There were 2 or 3 instances today, including at the end of the game when he didn't make that play. It wasn't just that he didn't make that play. That throw was probably 6 feet offline.
Yeah.
Well, for the 2-point conversion, you mean?
I'm trying to remember. Was it the 2-point? Yeah, I think it was a 2-point.
Yeah. So with the 2-point conversion specifically, I think what was kind of impressive was Philly was rushing that side.
Yeah.
Allen notices it. He goes to the right, and he still thinks he has pressure coming at him, which is why he missed the throw. People look at that throw, right, and they're like, "Oh, that was so stupid that he." And he even said it was his fault. But if you think about it from we watch enough football to know exactly what happened, which he got scared with the pressure. He took a moment and he missed the throw because he thought pressure was still at him.
And he had to back up because on a 2-point conversion, if you're going to throw the ball there, if a guy has time, he's going to try to step up a little bit and try to really zone in on whoever
power it through, yeah.
And the second that ball was snapped, the one side of the offensive line just caved in.
The left side caved in, I think, or the right side if I'm flipping it.
Yeah, it was the right because it was the right side. Because I can remember, I think it was Jalen Phillips coming off the edge, and it basically caved in the right, so he couldn't just sit in the pocket all day and look, or take off and run.
Yeah. So I definitely get what y'all are saying there, and in terms of going back to the original question of did we see the manifestation of things that have bothered me about them all year? Another thing that I'll mention is, as we've talked about, also Brandon, mentions it. I feel like multiple times well, I mean, I won't say a season because this is my first season on here, but
it's probably multiple times a season if it's about Philly. Yeah.
Well, no, not even Philly. Just in general. Why today of all days did Josh Allen have the ball in his hands 38 times? I think 42 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
35 of them being for passes. And
I feel like you've mentioned that in multiple seasons, Brandon, just the passing pieces of it.
And combined James Cook, Ty Johnson, and Ray Davis only ran 26 times.
I think the one thing I will say is I think a lot of that today was because James Cook, outside of 1 or 2 big runs, just had nowhere to go. There was nowhere for him to go. We just swallowed him up. I think he got a long run or 2 the first couple drives, and then after that, he was lucky if he got a 4-yard gain. So
absolutely. But I'm also looking at it from the vantage point of, like we just said about Philly, how do you decide to go to a pass-heavy attack in that situation?
It doesn't make sense.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
Even if you use Allen on the ground, I mean, they only used Allen on the ground 7 times.
Yeah.
The problem I had with Philly today, which was kind of our overall problem, I just don't understand this. Like, it feels like what's the word? An fixation? Is that the right word?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I know. It's this thing of like it's what Kevin Patullo has done all year, but it's this idea that we need Jalen to throw the ball more. We need him to move down the field, and it's like
Fixation?
there we go. You have Saquon Barkley back there. Hell, you have Tank Bixby back there, who you brought in mid-season. You can't just use them to power down the field. Like, especially in a game of that weather, I just don't understand it. It boggles my mind.
What the worst part was in the first half too, because everybody's like, "Oh, well, the Eagles are running in the first half," and then the second half they tried to run, it didn't work. No, that's not the case. Now, in the second half, 4 of their 5 drives started off with 2 straight run plays. So I understand the whole. Everybody saying, "Oh, there was too much running on the first 2 plays of every drive in the second." Here's the thing: the first drive of the second half is where I have a problem. That first drive, that second half, when they were moving the ball down the field, those first two plays gained like 20 yards. You were basically almost at midfield, more or less. You had a 5-yard gain from Saquon, and I believe it was like a 12-yard run on 2nd and 5. And then you just stopped running the ball for the next 5 plays. It felt like it was like pass. Like, why are you passing when the rain is actually getting heavier throughout the game? Like, especially when you know that this is not a game that neither team should be passing in. This is a game where if you control the clock in the second half with a 2-score lead, you will pretty much win that game.
Can I interrupt you there really quick? Because we were talking about this during the game. And Scoop, I'm sure you mentioned. I'm sure you saw it even more in person, and it was even more infuriating. The Bills were taking down clock more than the Eagles were, and the Eagles should have been taking down clock the whole second half because they were up by 2 scores.
Well, see, that was part of it. Now I will say, like, Brandon speaks a lot about the using too much of the play clock and like waiting until the very end to snap the ball. I noticed less of that today, I will say.
Yeah.
So I was keeping an eye on that. But excuse me, sorry. But like, but again, as the third quarter wore on, we're going back to shooting the A gap with Saquon again.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, what the because
and by the way, it's interspliced with like weird draws, weird tosses.
And you know what's crazy is this is the first game in the last few weeks where it's like usually when Philly goes empty and it's just Jalen back there and you got 5 wide, you got 3 guys on one side, 2 on the other, whatever it is, and you've got just that empty formation. Usually in those situations, the last 3 weeks, that play has either been a QB draw, a disguised QB draw, like a delayed QB draw, or it's been a quick pass that's gotten you like 6, 7, 8 9 yards, whatever it is. Like this time, it was
with the same mentality.
It was. But like the problem was today, it was like when they went empty, it was an obvious, like it went back to the things I hate, the screen pass. It's like it's not gonna work in this kind of. You can't go sideways in a rainy game. You have to. I mean, listen, it's hard to go north and south in a game like this, but the one thing, here's the problem too, is that and it's not just the fact that they went a little bit more pass heavy when they shouldn't have in the second half, but in the first half, what was working when they were passing the ball? It was all quick completions. It was 3-step drop, balls out, 3-step drop, balls out, 4 or 5 yards here, 8 yards here. The Dallas Goedert touchdown was like what? That was like a 7-yard touchdown pass or 5-yard touchdown pass. It was all short completions, and it worked. I don't get the philosophy of dropping back to pass, especially on you put yourself in bad 3rd and longs the entire second half because you just went back to inside zone. Like it's that Madden meme, inside zone, AJ Brown deep ball punt. Like
that's how I play Madden sometimes because it's a video game. Who cares?
But it's like But it's like, but the thing is too, it's like at least eventually you mix up the play calls. Like I get maybe trying that for a drive or two, but the problem is they did it the entire second half. It was inside.
I will
zone,
say I don't think
zone.
I don't think play action was as much of as was like spinning play action off that. I don't think that was as much of an option today. But looking at things like even freaking OC of Buffalo, Joe Brady, like
Joe Brady,
even even he hit out of ass bleep nowhere. He hit us with that. I don't even remember what the hell they called it. That trick play with like a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Like
like a hook. Does it call a hook and ladder?
Hook and ladder. Thank you. Yeah. Like, why was literally nothing like that even attempted by us once in the whole second quarter?
Keep in mind that, as crazy as it sounds, Buffalo has done that hook and ladder in key situations a lot this season. They just have, especially especially last week, they did it. So it's like it's kind of their thing. But Scoop, when you're at the game and experiencing that weather, what did you notice from like the players and the sidelines when it comes to that weather? Did you notice anything there?
I'm not going to say that I really noticed a ton in that regard. Granted, it wasn't really a point of major focus for me. I'll be honest about that.
And that's completely fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just, I was focusing on, a lot of, how the offense was being run, the teeth in this defense. Like it's just, I am increasingly impressed. Jalix Hunt had quite a game today. I mean, even freaking, we rag on him frequently and justifiably so. A couple of really nice pass breakups from Adoree Jackson today. It's just, but it's also just looking at the fact that part of the reason why we were in position to have some of those wins, not just our defense, but it was Buffalo beating themselves penalty-wise.
Yeah.
And it's when you've got a team that's beating themselves like that, you can't only win that game by 1 point. I don't care, where you are or I won't say I don't care what the weather is like, because I do think that matters. But it just we said coming out, we said going into today that it wasn't just going to be how, like, whether they won or lost, it was going to be how they won or lost. And, very, very positive thing to me that they got the win. And very positive thing to me, obviously, that they played and called the game the way that they did in the first half. But your second half adjustments have to get better.
It's like they're not adjusting at all. It's like they're being flat.
That bleeds exactly into what Nick Sirianni said. Did you see what he said in the post game? Because he said the exact same thing he's been saying for 17 weeks. Because John Clark just posted it, when the game ended.
John Clark.
And he said, this is what he said. He said, Nick Sirianni says his defense was relentless. Nick says he and the Eagles' offensive coaches have to do a better job in the second half, and he has to be more involved in getting into the right calls and find the right approach. And this is what the quote was. And he said, we've got to do some different things there. I should have done a better job. You think? It's been a problem all year.
We're in week 17. Like, do you want?
See, and this is the frustrating thing. There are some coaches who are just better off being CEO type coaches and entrusting the play calling to their coordinators. The problem is you picked a dumbass coordinator, which is fine. It's not fine. Which it happens. Even the best coaches have made blunders at coordinator. Freaking what's his name? Bill Belichick hired Matt Patricia once. It happens. But that's why I didn't believe that they were going to fire Patullo mid-season, especially as long as the record was still good. And it looks like come hell or high water, he's here until the offseason. That being said, excuse me, your window in the NFL, you can't count on your window being open past tomorrow.
No.
It's
No.
these things slam shut faster than ever in the NFL these days. So knowing that, and if you and again, and this is what I want to know. In this past week, with this game planning going into this week, and presumably they knew before yesterday. If anybody checked WeatherBug, presumably they knew what was going to be in the forecast today. So what I want to know is
they have meteorologist specialists on staff on every NFL team.
Right. So what I want to know is where the hell was Scott Loeffler in these pregame discussions?
I have no idea.
Because this this offense didn't look like it had a speck of Scott Loeffler influence in the second half. The first half it did.
Yeah, first half. Yeah, I was gonna say first half it did. Yeah.
The second half nothing. And it's again. I don't know if this was they had built up 13-point lead and they believed that. Not to say that was enough, but they believed that they were better off now going into point prevention mode. I almost said run prevention, but point prevention mode, knowing where they were with the weather and the fact that Buffalo hadn't scored on them all first half. I don't know if that was their mentality where their focus kind of shifted a little bit. But either way, you don't take your foot off the damn gas.
And Scoop, this is a good segue, because I was going to ask you if you feel this way in person. Like the second half of games, well, particularly in the fourth quarter. I know you weren't there in the fourth, but I'm sure you noticed it to some degree anyway. Something that Brandon's been talking about.
I was listening to it on the radio.
Okay, still, so you probably noticed it enough. Where doesn't it feel like with the point prevention thing, the Eagles have done this all year in the second half defensively, where they kind of just sit back and
it's not as drastic as let's just say dropping back and playing prevent defense. It's not quite that excessive, but just it almost feels less from an X's and O standpoint and more just from a mentality where it's like they'll build up a certain lead and then they'll play not to lose rather than playing to win. Because, and again, I think that there's a place for the mentality where you're playing just to manage the game, not make the big mistake, that type of thing. But that goes with dominating time of possession. You were behind on time of possession by 11 minutes.
And by the way, I will say,
at one point you were within a minute of one another. So that means you got swallowed in time of possession in the second half.
I was going to add to that. My apologies, Scoop. And as unapt as a comparison this might be, this might still work in the sense that I don't know if any of you guys watched a single minute of Patriots Jets. Not that you needed to. But Patriots Jets, they were up like on their first 6 drives. Do you know what the Patriots did on their first 6 drives? Every drive, they scored a touchdown. Every drive,
okay.
Every single drive, they put the pedal to the metal until they knew middle of the third quarter, like, okay, we're fine. And like as you're talking about the time of possession with Philly, it's like, yeah, they're not up by that many scores, but it's just like, come on.
I mean, I will say this: the Jets the Jets defense hasn't gotten an interception all season. A little different than playing the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, I think.
And again, I'm not fully trying to compare it. I'm just trying to say, like, if you're up and controlling a game, you need to push, right? Like that's kind of the point.
Yeah, and I think that comes in all facets mentality. Now I will say, and I kind of glossed over this earlier at the beginning of what I was saying. It is not insignificant to me that we got a clean game from Jake Elliott today, because we're going to need that shit. And the fact that we got that in horrific conditions, I was beyond grateful to see that. So I will say that is a positive takeaway that I think deserves to get, acknowledged and hopefully can be a point of optimism henceforth. But just it feels just like a psychological thing where you get to a point where, yes, I agree that there's a level of conservative and just sort of not putting the ball in harm's way and not putting the other team in position to, take the ball away and potentially score. I understand to that extent, but that's not the type. Like, there's different ways of playing conservative football, and that's not the type of conservative football they were playing. They were playing. I wouldn't even call it conservative football. They were at times, at least, they were just playing basic football, and that's not the same thing as conservative football.
Yeah, uninspired football.
Like, remember,
that's a great way to put it.
Remember the thing I sent in the chat, and I said that it's about as a direct shot to the coaching staff as you're going to get from Jalen Hurts.
Right. So I was just going to play that. That's a great segue because I was just going to play that.
I'm not sure I saw that, to be honest.
You sent me this of what Jalen Hurts said, and you, as you just said, direct indictment of the coaching staff. And I was like,
it's about as direct as you're going to get from Jalen Hurts too.
Right. So. And I saw this and I was like, I have to play this because this is like this is a perfect example of kind of everything we're talking about that is wrong with this team from top to bottom. So here was Jalen Hurts on the difference between the first half of this game to the second half of this game.
What do you make of the disparity offensively from the first half to the second half?
I think we got into a good rhythm and good groove. We're able to move the ball down the field in the first half, and in the second half, there are a lot of things that I have to watch the tape on to be able to pinpoint. Obviously, maintaining aggression is one thing, and maintaining rhythmic ball play, then just going out there and executing ultimately. So,
what did you say? Maintain what?
Maintaining aggression.
No, I know, but after that he said something.
Maintain rhythm. Rhythmic ball play.
Okay, thank you.
But that's the thing is that is a direct indictment of your offensive coaching staff, because that's when you say maintaining aggression. We all know because we saw the play calls change from the first half to the second half. We saw the same crap we've been seeing all year with the basic hitch routes and then just deep shot. Everybody running a go route.
And here's what was so absurd. I mean, aside from the go routes, this is the last weather in which you should be doing that. But here's what's so absurd is that the weather, at least when it comes to the rain or whatnot, was less intense going into the second half.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just so ass backwards to me.
And the thing is, funny enough, what you're saying, Scoop, is very close to what Jalen was saying about the rhythmic ball play. It's not continuing. It's not staying consistent.
No, and it's, I don't know what happened to the RPOs of this offense, but I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't seen an RPO offense in 6 weeks, 7 weeks, if that.
More, it feels like.
The best offensive game I saw them play this year from start to finish was probably the Minnesota game. What
week was that?
That was what was that? What was that? Week 6?
Oh Jesus!
I can't remember a game.
Yeah, Minnesota was week 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So because what I remember from that Minnesota game is everybody contributed across the board, defense and offense, and there's a couple times where they stalled out, but listen, you gotta give the Vikings credit. At that time, they were still a top 5 defense in the league. So
I would agree with you that probably our best offensive game. I would agree with you is probably Minnesota. Yeah,
they scored a touchdown in every quarter. They didn't get shut out in a single quarter. 7 in the first, 7 in the second, 7 third, 7 fourth, and then you had pretty much efficiency. You had in the passing game at least. You had efficiency. You had Hurts 19 to 23, 326, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That was the perfect passer rating game. But then you had
Makes
Saquon
sense.
Saquon didn't have a great game, but I remember a couple of times in that game like where his runs was like chewing up clock. And then both AJ and Devontae had over 120 yards receiving. AJ had 2 TDs, Devontae had 1. Dallas Goedert had 3 catches in this game. Defense was really good, but I think that was the only game I think this year where they scored, I believe, on offense in every quarter. They scored every. I mean, listen, it was only 7, but 7 every quarter, adds up to 28. 28's not a bad score. So
28's a winner, yeah.
Like 20, you score 28 most weeks, you're going to win a lot of games. So
yeah,
it's
and what's crazy to me is you look at so they've played what now? They've played 16 games, I think.
16.
Yeah, 16
yeah.
games.
So 28 points from that Minnesota game. There have been 5 games in which they've scored more than that, and obviously, by sure math, there's been 10 games where they've scored fewer than that, which is insane to me.
Yeah. Scoop, are you ready for a dumb statistic on another game that I just saw?
Hit me.
This is dumb. The Bears tonight, not that we're going to talk about the Bears fully while we're here. I want to finish up on Philly and help rest your voice out. But I wanted to get you while you're here on this, because I know you're the stats guy. The Bears tonight are the first team in NFL history to score 35-plus points, score a defensive touchdown, have no turnovers, allow no sacks, and lose. First team in the history of the NFL to do that. It's nuts.
I mean, I can't be too surprised because that's not a recipe that should have you losing a game.
No, not at all. Last thing I have for you, Scoop, though, is you were texting us during the Bears game, and you were trashing Highmark Stadium. Can you tell me what was wrong with the stadium that only has maybe a few weeks left in its life cycle?
Well, thank God, because as I've said to you, and I'll repeat exactly what I said, I'm going to miss the stadium as much as I missed my 3 bouts with COVID. And
Jesus.
I just...
Jesus. That's an indictment.
And, well, I'll put it this... So I'll say this. This is not the first football game that I've watched there, and I've also seen multiple non-sports events there, including a Garth Brooks concert. So I've been there a good number of times for different reasons. There's no railings to go up and down the stairs.
Oh my God, that's awful. I would hate that.
Which is mind-numbingly stupid.
It's an accessibility issue.
Yeah. So there's that. There's excuse me, sorry. And it's just it like certain stadiums, obviously have you guys been to Fenway Park?
No, unfortunately I have not.
I wish.
Okay. So Fenway's like, you can tell it's very old, but there's like a character and like a class about it in terms of its age.
Right.
This just feels like an airport hangar that's been painted over. Like it is just there is no character about it. There's no like respectability about it. It's exactly what excuse me, sorry. And it's exactly what you would feel like in that type of weather. Like it just the location itself just compounds the horrificness of the climate in which it sits. And you're sitting there with that crossover from Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, and then compounded with the fact that there's it's obvious that there's no hybrid or roof or anything of that nature. But even it's just, you can structure a stadium in a particular way that kind of limits or at least, is conducive to maybe not allowing the crossover to completely, permeate through to the fans inside and to everybody inside. Absolutely not. If anything, where you are in the stadium, if anything, it makes it worse compared to when you step outside. And
funny enough, that's what they're changing with the new stadium. Is they're doing this some I can't even say the word, but some technology to help keep proprietary tech. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, to like help with the wind. You basically have no wind and it's still roof open. So thank God for that.
Yeah, but it's just and it's unfortunate because it's very reminiscent of what the Bills were 20 years ago when they were cheap, when they weren't doing anything, right, business or football wise. It feels so um unbecoming of what the franchise has become and the respectability that they've built both on and off the field. And that's why that's one reason why I'm really glad that they're doing this, because it's like we were driving to the stadium and we were still probably a good 5-10 miles out, and we had, now again, this has nothing to do with the stadium, this is just the area itself, high wind warning, flood warning, blizzard warning, and there was something else. I don't remember what the other one was. All four of these simultaneously. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my mother next to me. I'm like, people actually live here voluntarily? And I'm just like,
Yes, they do.
and it's just so, but there was nothing really like the atmosphere in Highmark Stadium in terms of the people there. I mean, I didn't have an issue with that. If anything, I was probably the biggest shit talker in the section. But just the fact that there was that much just absurdity, and the fact that it's so not just inaccessible, but even just the navigability of it, regardless of accessibility, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And it's like you get lost so easily, even though it looks like a regular layout. Like, you'll get lost so easily. Like, even my mom multiple times thought we were on the second level when we were on the first level. It's just
Yeah.
we I didn't have the greatest things to say about New Energy or whatever the hell it's called, where I went to for the Browns game. This was worse. But
Yeah.
but again, I think two things. First and foremost, I think that a lot of the sort of so-called smaller market and northern stadiums, that sometimes that's a bit of a double whammy in terms of stadium upkeep. And also, let's be honest, Brandon and I think have been a little bit spoiled, going to the link growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, and that's same here in Seattle, right? We're a big metro area. Our stadiums are very well built.
Yeah. So
and the issues I have with them are very minimal.
Unless you live in my neck of the woods, and MetLife Stadium is a big pile of crap. So
yeah. The only thing I've heard you complain about with Lemon Field is just the security after that one experience.
Yeah, I would say it's the security, and the 300 level is one of the worst in the country, I think. Mm-hmm. I hate the 300 level at Lumen. It's awful. You feel like I'm going to fall. It's so atrocious. Well, those are like the only two things.
That actually, I remember having that experience at the high end. I originally thought it was at Highmark Stadium or whatever it was called back then. But I remembered it was actually Citizens Bank Park. I had sit up in the 300 or 400 levels. A game Phillies were playing the Red Sox, and I don't do heights well to begin with, and then to have you basically where similar to the Sphere, where you're just kind of sitting right over everything below you.
No, for me, I think this is like a generalized thing. I hate 300 levels in stadiums. I hate it at T-Mobile Park. I hate it at Lumen. I hate it.
You should see MetLife. MetLife's 300 level is like you stand up and it feels like you're because there's nothing stopping you from either falling over the railing or falling into the row below you.
That's making me feel nauseated just hearing about it.
No, and by the way, I heard it's even worse at Barclays. At the 300 level at Barclays is like one of the worst.
I've seen people post it. It doesn't look good at all.
I'll say this. Well, actually, I can't really talk because I've been to Barclays twice, but I never sat in the 300. But I will say it doesn't look like a comfortable space. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think especially for baseball, what's nice, especially at my park, is like you have an area that it doesn't matter what seats you buy, you can just go there and but that's our
I like
pen
that.
area.
Like
Where
a-
it doesn't
like a
matter what
general
seat you
admission
buy.
type.
You just sit. I just stand. No, look. Do you have to stand for the entire game? Yeah, but do I care? No. I want to watch baseball. I don't care if I have to stand for 3-4 hours. I don't care. I don't. Like, I genuinely don't.
See, that sounds obnoxious.
No, I love that. But yeah, no, 300 levels at stadiums are awful.
Yeah.
Some are better than others, but oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
just
hope the
the-
new stadium is going to be good in Buffalo because it
Me
looks
too.
amazing.
I'm looking
The
forward
new
to
one.
checking it out. It does look cool. And honestly, I haven't been to many of them, but the new stadiums that they've been developing, SoFi looks great. Allegiant looks great. So I'm looking forward to that'll probably be the first one I get to go to, would be just because it's 45 minutes from here.
Yeah, and it's right next door too to Highmark, which is kind of cool that it's like right. They're literally building it right next door.
We saw the site as we were. I think it was as we were leaving, and someone pointed out, it's like, oh, that's going to be right where they put up the new one.
Yeah,
And I will say, normally I think that, oh, there's no reason to take down an old stadium, just like leave it up as a whatever. I hope that they take an AK-47 to this thing. It's just
Jesus Christ.
There's
Absolute TNT.
there's just absolutely no reason to keep this thing up. I don't know who's going to miss it, but it's just, but again, like I said, it's not becoming of what the Bills have developed into. So I think it's great that they're making the transition. In fact, at one point there was a discussion when the Bills were potentially going to be not moving, but like, building a new place, that it was going to potentially be in an area that was like equidistant between Buffalo and Rochester, where I live. And it's not ultimately what came to pass. But I do notice that as time has gone on, it's kind of become more of a Finger Lakes sort of metro area, whatever you want to call it. That this sort of whole area has kind of really become more passionate about the team, which I think is cool to see.
Yeah. Do you guys know the history? I think who was their original owner who passed away like 10 years ago?
You talk about Ralph Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the stadium was originally kind of shortened and colloquially called the Ralph.
Right. So the history behind when he passed away and the Bills were for sale is really fascinating, but also actually kind of uncomfortable for a lot of different reasons. So one is they were going to be moving to Toronto. That was like a lot
that
of
was,
the. Yeah.
That was largely if John Francis Bon Jovi had taken over the team.
Right. And luckily that didn't happen. I still want the Bills to play a game in Toronto, even if it's a preseason game. I would love that.
That sounds
but because they used to do that for the international series. Buffalo would always play one game in Toronto. I think the last one they ever had was against Seattle, actually. But there's political history with that Buffalo new ownership, or not new ownership, one of the owners. There's like massive political history by it, which is, do you guys actually know this before I say it? When I say political history,
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I can think of a couple different things you might be alluding to, so that's why I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
So one of the highest bidders was Donald Trump, and he was gonna keep it in Buffalo, and he paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the owners, the NFL owners, and I think a few of the brass involved in making the decision were really uncomfortable with him. Like, they were really uncomfortable. And
because he had at one time been the owner of the USFL New Jersey Generals when Herschel Walker was there.
Right. But they were just that was part of it, but I know they were really uncomfortable for other reasons. I mean, you can kind of guess what it was, seeing that he's president now. Sorry to be that, but it's kind of true.
Well, it was just an interesting. Well, because I was just trying to remember the timeline, because he didn't announce for presidency until June of 2015, and the passing of Ralph Wilson happened over a year prior. So that's why I wasn't quite sure how that lined up.
Yeah. Basically, like if he was owner of the Bills, he never would have went for presidency. Like,
Oh,
he
I mean, yeah,
absolutely-
that makes sense. Yeah,
and like,
but
and
I don't know where he was in sort of that whole lead-in process. You know, when he was doing that whole thing.
right, and a lot of it, while the relationship between the president and the NFL has kind of improved in the sense that like they had to do something with him during COVID to kind of get football and all these sports kind of back. That's kind of the biggest thing. And he's always had very weird ties with them. But you got the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. What a lot of Trump's like disdain towards that was because he was very unhappy with the NFL with the whole ownership thing. So he wanted to paint a black eye on the NFL. And if you remember a lot of because the ratings were down for the NFL a lot during that whole process. And he always gloated about that. So like there's like back in those days, there's like a huge thing where Trump had like this big vendetta against the NFL. Now he doesn't as much because he kind of values the value of the product as a way to show America's stronghold, I guess. Funny enough, that's more the UFC these days, but I always find that as a funny anecdote in the history of the Buffalo Bills that President Donald, regardless of the political implications that we don't have to get into, I just think it's genuinely funny of the basic timeline as Shane is loading in.
What's up, Shane?
Geez.
I see him in the not ready section, so yay.
So much for saving Scoop's voice tonight.
I mean, we only did one segment.
Yeah.
And it was over an hour.
Oh, it was? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
We're gonna do another hour, so I'm gonna save your voice even more. All right, so
You might as well just keep me on for this point. I mean, for having
no, I'm not gonna do that. Shane, what the hell? You're in a
my God.
Shane,
Where are you?
in a black hole.
And he
And
died.
he's gone.
I mean, did he end up, doing what's that? What's that like? In those military movies or like prison things where they put you like it was like 3 days in the hole or something like that? Like
That's
How
what that
are you
looked
talking
like.
about?
like that. It looks like when you get put in like a prison dungeon or something like that. Like, oh, maybe a week in the hole will straighten this guy out. Like,
All
I
right,
don't know what you're
Scoop.
talking about.
With that, I will let your voice rest. Yeah, thank you for going an hour, but we're probably gonna go like another hour, maybe a little more. And if I put you through that, you are not gonna make the show tomorrow, and you probably won't have a voice tomorrow morning. So I'm not gonna let that happen. But thanks
tea
for
with lemon.
tea with lemon, baby. Please.
I don't know if I have that, but
Honey. Do you have honey?
probably somewhere.
Yes, have honey. just put honey in your mouth. Just squirt it in. Like
Oh boy! Quit while you're ahead.
shit.
Quit while you're ahead. The hand motion didn't help either.
Is that a preview for Bad Santa tomorrow?
A little bit, yeah, probably.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Good night.
Peace, Scoop.
Oh.
Why am I always the one with the weird hand motions and shit? I don't know how to describe things. Why am I supposed to describe putting honey in it?
You're like that scene from Talladega Nights where Rick, Will Ferrell's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. He's got his hands like this as he's talking. It's like,
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. So that always happens on the show, not because it's intentional, because I'm trying to explain something and I don't know how to, without it sounding.
For
really
me, I try to speak like before my mind takes it too far. Like I'm trying to stop myself, but no, like you just don't have a filter. It's like where it's just a stream of consciousness, and it just
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, it goes wherever it goes, and the fact, like, whatever. He just the Shane again. Oh my god, please! There you flipping
Oh my
are.
God, it
What,
works
what
now.
kind of dungeon? Okay, Shane, we got to tell you this story. I had to give a medical exemption to Scoop, so he just left because
A medical
Scoop literally can't talk. He literally sounds like, and I can barely hear you, to be fair, but
Oh, hello?
you're echoing like crazy. What is happening?
It's the
There's a
AirPods.
luau. There's a. Oh, you're right. Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Now, you got it. You got
Shane's
it.
finger. No, but restart your thing. This.
Or unmute yourself.
Hey, there we go.
Oh my God! Look at the waves. God
What
damn!
What waves?
What do you mean? What waves? All I can hear is.
Oh, yeah. It's not looking at the waves. It's that we can hear the waves.
No. That's a luau.
What do you mean?
there's-
What's it?
That
What's-
noise is a luau going on behind
What's a
you.
luau again?
It's like a big Hawaiian dance celebration feast, whatever.
Oh,
why
Rob,
are you doing a podcast in the middle of that?
No.
Rob,
It's happening
Rob, Rob.
it's happening like 200 or 300 feet that way.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
just
say,
sitting at
but-
an empty bar by the pool right now.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
You know, why not?
So yeah, I had to let Scoop
time?
leave because he can barely speak. He can barely
It's-
speak right now.
It's 8 p.m. and it's 73 degrees outside. I'm gonna enjoy the outdoors. All right.
It's ridiculous.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
fellas.
so yeah, Scoop had to leave. Scoop had
He
to
couldn't
leave because he
speak.
literally can't talk. He spent an hour talking about the Eagles. He literally spent an hour talking about the Eagles with us, and I had to let him go because the dude literally has a voice that sounds like Patrick Mahomes, but a million times worse, dude.
So like,
Like it's
he has a frog in
It's-
his throat. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad.
It was worse when he first came on. Like it kind of got a little bit better as he went on, but that's just because his voice is getting warmed back up. That's what happens when you because I've noticed this too. It's like he sounded better as he went on, but he also, the more you use your voice, even when it's blown out, it's gonna sound a little bit better as you keep talking.
Oh,
But
like he's used
it's-
that's a game.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
exactly.
was not-
So-
Shane, I did something I did something kind of impromptu before you came on. I told Scoop to squirt honey in his mouth, and that didn't go over well for the guys.
Why?
Because that's not the full
That's
thing that he
that's
said.
not the phrasing.
Like
Because I did the motion of putting honey in. Okay,
yeah, he's like, and then he said, yeah, just squirt it in your mouth. Like, like it's not what
Okay.
you want.
Shane's like, okay.
Anyways,
Do you have any Seahawks Niners Saturday night? What are your thoughts?
yeah, it should be Sunday night, but otherwise it's fine. I'm just enjoying life. It's,
I'm asking you about a football game. You're on a
it's
football
good to
podcast.
be here. I might move here, fellas. I'll be real with you. I mean, no, I won't actually.
I'm asking you about a football game.
I was gonna say we'll slip into depression
Yeah,
if that happens.
no. Football. Yeah, no. It's
Football, yeah.
It's the furthest thing from Shane's mind right now. It's
I
the
mean,
furthest thing from
okay.
his mind.
there's I gotta say, there's nothing like watching. There's a person over there. There's nothing like watching.
You're at a bar. Of
A
course
football
there's
game.
people over there.
That's like off to the side a little bit. Okay. I'm sitting here in the pool. I'm chilling. Everything's going great. And I look up. There's 3 TVs. And so, one of them. So for the morning slate, it was like they had 3 different games on, obviously. So there was Browns Steelers, because there were a bunch of Steelers fans. And then there was Jags Colts, which made sense. And then the third one was Patriots Jets.
What?
And it was and
It was
it
a
was
massive
halftime.
blowout.
No, I know. It was already like 42-3. I was like, dude, why the hell do we have this one on the TV? I mean, I didn't say it like that, obviously, but he's like, hey, is anybody watching this? And it was just crickets. No one said anything. So he was like, oh, I'm gonna change it to Seattle, and I was like, yeah, thanks. So I watched the second half. And I was expecting it to be a normal Seattle, second half comeback, because they don't show up till halftime apparently. The offense, that is. Defense was great, but yeah. Then Darnold threw that pick. I like CJSN, and I'm like, oh, touchdown! Oh, never mind. And so and then for a second there, I was like, oh god, we're gonna get a Ram Week 11 Rams performance here out of Darnold, aren't we? But that didn't end up happening. He bounced back after that, so we take that. Then in the afternoon, the Eagles. Even though Philly won, I'm much more concerned about them after that game than I am about Buffalo.
Yeah, that's basically what we said too.
Because the fact that with all that talent you had, you couldn't score, more than 13 points, and couldn't score any in the second half against that piss poor defense. I was like, this is bad.
Even with the weather, it's bad.
We know why. We all pointed out why for the last hour.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. People can say, well, the weather was bad. Guess what? The playoffs are played in January. The weather's shit. I hate to break it to you. So,
especially in
we gotta
Philadelphia,
adapt,
when
fellas,
put a snow
all right?
outside.
Yeah, we gotta adapt somehow. So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, and then Sunday night football started at 3:15 in the afternoon.
Yeah, baby.
Which is
wait. What?
Which
Wait,
is
what's
hilarious.
the early window starts at 8 a.m. there?
8. Yeah,
You're right.
8 a.m.
When I was
And
over there, it started at when I was over there at the beginning of the season one year. It started at 7 because clock change.
Yeah, because I don't do daylight savings here, so.
God.
Yeah.
So
no.
3:15 Sunday night football. Woo!
Yeah. So I watched that, and then I watched the fourth quarter of it while we were at dinner. We had this place, and I had this amazing Kahlua pork.
Stop making me hungry.
Well, I mean, dude, when you're on the islands, that's kind of like you got to eat local. It's good food. So I had that.
It's probably fresh. It's probably a lot fresher than what we get in the States too.
Yeah, no, I mean, the pig had probably been in the ground for 3 days, just marinating, and
Oh yeah. Not wrong.
But anyways, no. And yeah, so I was sitting there with everybody who were watching. There were probably like 50 people just standing there in front of the TVs. I'm like, people move. I'm trying to watch.
Get out of my way.
That's how I'm at a bar when I'm watching football. Get out of my way.
I've never rooted for Caleb Williams that hard in my life, but here we are.
And meanwhile, I'm rooting against him because it affects our seating. So
yeah, true. There's a lot of Niners fans here, though.
That doesn't
Niners
surprise
are,
me.
I think, they are, I believe, the most popular team in Hawaii.
That doesn't surprise me, though.
Yeah, but I mean, also just there's a lot of obviously West Coast people
Yeah.
here. So there's no Rams fans because the Rams don't have fans. But
Jesus.
True.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Niners hats, a lot of Seahawks hats, a lot of Eagles hats too, which is kind of surprising.
It's just because the Philly our entire lives one of the best traveling teams in the NFL. They travel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everywhere.
a lot of
Them and the
lot of
Steelers,
Steelers, yeah, Steelers. Guys, Brandon, I was going to tell you this morning. I went to go get breakfast. I got this island style huevos rancheros. It was great. Anyways, it's not important.
Jesus.
What's important?
It's already a good start.
It's on my. Yeah, I've probably put on 10 pounds on this trip. But anyways, what's important is on the way back, I ran into a guy wearing a Seton Hall basketball jersey.
What? What?
I know.
All the way
I was-
out. I've never seen that before anywhere outside.
I was-
basically the tri-state area.
Yeah. So I said to him, I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I wouldn't normally say something, but I just couldn't help it. I was like, dude, you're a long way from home. And he's like, you know where Seton Hall is? And I said, yeah. And he said, oh, are you from the tri-state area? And I said, no, I'm from Seattle.
Complete opposite end of the country.
I gave him no context whatsoever. It was funny. He just was like really weirded out, and I was like, "Have a nice day, sir," and kept walking. But
oh my god.
yeah, no. So otherwise, yeah, that's my thoughts on
Okay,
the
wait,
NFL action today.
Shane, before you go, what were your thoughts on Bears Niners overall, though?
I think that's one of the more impressive games of Brock Purdy's career.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not that the Bears defense is anything special, but like, it's not like it's the Bengals defense. You know what I mean? Like, it's somewhat
serviceable.
formidable challenge.
Oh, by the way,
this is without
the Chicago Bears Pro Bowl defense, where everyone's in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Continue.
give me a break. They're getting torched by Jawan Jennings. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shane. Go ahead.
Yeah, no Trent Williams, no George Kittle, no what's this? Brandon Ayuk. I mean, it was it was like bare bones. Granted, they had CMC, but still, I mean,
Their leading receiver was Ricky Parasol, who had 5 catches for 85 yards.
yeah. But still, I mean, either way, like Purdy, I think definitely won them that game. It wasn't like McCaffrey just.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
It just an amazing game from Purdy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You disconnected a little bit there, Shane. But
oh, sorry. I said it was just an amazing game by Purdy, but both these teams are terrible. So or defenses are bad. So
terrible. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
Early
anyways.
Seahawks Niners prediction before you go.
I'm gonna go. I think Seattle probably wins like. I'm gonna say 27-17.
Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. All right,
I think
Shane.
they'll probably split. Because
Yeah.
I mean, they usually do. But
No.
Dang it.
up.
This Hawaii
disconnect
connection.
again?
Just
A little
yes. This Hawaii connection.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I mean,
Even
it's
further.
like
Like
you
you-
can see there's some palm trees and stuff here, but then like right there, that light, that's a boat. Like that's the ocean right there.
Oh my god!
So
I mean, you
So
could
anyways.
it could be worse. You could be even further out. You could be where my great grandmother used to be, Samoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I could
Yeah.
be in like Yemen or something.
I
run
would
and-
love,
and be-
I would
and
love,
be-
I would love to do like a "Where in the World is Shane today" thing, where it's like,
and I could be like sitting here worried that I'm going to get my head chopped off or something.
Shane's doing the podcast. Where is he? He's in Yemen. What? How do you watch football
Anyways.
in Yemen? Can I search that up?
Can you watch football? Again?
Probably not. Americans aren't allowed there, so you know.
Can
I doubt our sports are either.
How do you watch football in Yemen?
I don't think you
searching
do.
This up.
It's like
I'm searching up how to watch NFL football in Yemen. This is what this podcast has come to.
Well, you're welcome for interjecting some humor.
Yemen, how to watch NFL games. DAZN, yeah, everything's on DAZN. So if you could somehow watch it on DAZN.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, but you have a great night. Stay warm out there in the north.
Yeah. Stay warm
trying.
with the snow. Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy the tropical weather in shorts and a t-shirt while I can, but in 2 days I'll be back. I'll be back with you guys. So I'll
I was
stop
gonna
running my mouth.
I was gonna say enjoy it while you can because it's almost over, buddy. It's almost over.
Yeah.
Next Sunday you'll be back.
I'm
with
gonna stop
us,
running
so.
my mouth.
All right. Thanks for hopping on, Shane. Peace.
I disconnected again. All right, I better go before it happens
anyway.
again.
Peace.
See you, dude.
What has happened to this episode?
Tonight, I don't know. I didn't expect a call in from Shane. I didn't expect Scoop to sound like Kermit the Frog. I don't know. I mean, my God, they both had crazy adventures today because one is vacationing in Hawaii, the other one lost his voice at Eagles Bills in an atrocity of a game. So like, I'm sitting here with the two of us are on the phone for some of these games, and it's just like we're having our typical Sunday banter about all these games being crap or whatnot or who looks good and who doesn't. But meanwhile, they are on two different ends of the spectrum. One is living his best life.
Our entire discussion today was what are the primetime games going to be? That was what was the Week 18 primetime games going to be?
We kind of knew. We basically knew once that Steelers game had ended, once they choked to the Browns, we knew exactly what was going to happen. Like,
yeah,
I don't think, and I know Shane, and I know a lot of other people like, oh, Seahawks Niners is, but here's the problem with that one being, and I understand one seed's important, obviously it's important, one seed in division, yes, but both those teams already clinched a playoff spot. It doesn't mean as much as Steelers Ravens, who have, basically bigger, well, that probably the Steelers, bigger fan bases, I think, in total, and I think that game is literally not just for the division; it's division or your season's over. It's so the stakes are higher than just seeding, pretty much because that's what Niners Seahawks is, and at the end of the day, it's just seeding. So
and by the way, Panthers Bucks, I really thought that was going to be the primetime game. It says a lot about how the networks think of that division and those two teams.
Oh, because they know it's bad.
Because they know it's bad. They're just like, we're making that the early window. The lines came out already. Do you want to guess the opening lines for the primetime games? Do you want to guess your line against the Commanders? Do that one first.
I saw the line. I know it's -7.5 for Philly.
It's now up to 8.5.
Yeah,
already.
When I saw it open about an hour ago, that said 7.5.
Yeah. Biggest lines of the week is Texans -10.5 over the Colts because it'd probably be Riley Leonard.
Yeah.
Jaguars -10.5 over the Titans New England -10 over the Dolphins, and Bills -11.5 over the Jets. Those are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
All right. Seahawks Niners guess the line. The opening line on Saturday.
Man. Well, the home team automatically gets
I should have started with the AFC South game, but screw that one. So, or the NFC South game. But go with Seahawks Niners.
So Seahawks Niners. I mean, the home team automatically gets kind of like those 3 points we always talk about, and the Niners are the home team. So, I think that's gotta be a pick 'em. That's gotta be like what, Niners -1.5.
Seahawks -1.5.
Really?
It's probably going to flip up the whole week.
Yeah.
Panthers, Bucks, in Tampa.
Oh man, but Tampa looks so much worse compared to Carolina.
And I don't think Carolina looks that good either.
Yeah, but Tampa's just really been in a tailspin. I think they've lost 7 of the last 8.
Yeah, something crazy.
Oh man. I'm gonna say, oh god, I'm gonna say Tampa -2.5.
Tampa -3.
Ooh, yeah, that's about right.
Ravens, Steelers. And by the way, we still don't know if Lamar's gonna play. Just bear that in mind.
And DK
no
is
idea.
not. So
and DK is obviously out.
Oh my god! I mean, if the Steelers, that line's going to change because we have to figure out who the hell is going to come back for the Steelers, because I think the Steelers had like 2 or 3 injuries on top of DK being out today. So
TJ Watt might actually come back, maybe.
Yeah,
probably.
And it's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
That almost has to be a pick 'em too, because both teams have been up and down all year, and both teams have been crap for a large majority of the year. So, I mean, I don't think either way you can go wrong, but I think just because I think right now they're banking on Lamar playing, but I think he has to play. Like I don't care how bad, unless his back is so bad that he's just in a wheelchair, God forbid, he has to play that game, because that's win or go home. So I would say, as of right now, I mean, the Ravens are the better team right now. So I would say Ravens. Oh God, I don't like it though. I would say Ravens -1.5.
It's Ravens -3.5.
Ooh, I don't like that
as an opener.
But that'll flip flop a little bit.
Yeah, all these will. All right. Let's get started with Bucks Panthers. I guess the fact of the matter is that if the Bucks actually win this game, they're going to have a home game with a losing record.
We're not
and
surprised.
It's like, no, we're not. It's just like, part of me wants Tampa to lose just so we don't have a losing record team win a game, or go play a home game, I should say.
And the thing is, I'm so tempted to pick Carolina in that game, because
I think I am. I think I'm pretty clearly am.
Because when I like, it is a playoff game because it's win or go home. So it's winning, you're in. So with that game, I mean, who the hell on that Bucks defense is going to stop Rico Dowdle? Like,
holy shit! By the way, Seahawks Niners just flipped to Niners 1.5 as we're speaking. It literally is just flipping. Anyway, continue.
It's going to keep doing that. But like, who the hell is going to stop Rico Dowdle? Who the hell? Like, to me, who's going to stop Ted McMillan? They just seem to always, like, the Panthers just have been so sneaky good, while the Bucks have just been in a tailspin for 2 months now.
Okay, wait. So the Panthers are sneaky good, but are they good enough to win a playoff game even at home?
No. Well, I'm saying sneaky good as in like what we've been saying all year. Like, they're sneaky good to win their division, but that's it. Like, because we thought the Bucks were just gonna run away with it. That's what we thought, and then like. the hotter team right now. I mean, even though the Panthers lost today, the Panthers are the hotter team just overall. The Bucks, like I said, the Bucks have lost. I think it is 7 of their last 8.
I think
So
tailspin is the exact right word.
like, I want to go back and see if I'm actually right looking at their schedule. Tampa lost today. Lost to the Panthers. I forgot about that. Lost to the Panthers a week ago. Lost to the Falcons. Lost to the Saints. They beat the Cardinals. Lost to the Rams. Lost to the Bills. Lost to the Patriots. So yeah, they've lost 7 of their last 8 games. So I like, and
Including against Carolina.
Like, and that's what I'm saying, including Carolina. Like, and I mean, it was a close game, but like even in that game, from what I remember, and I'm just trying to look back through this, yeah, Bryce Young was the better quarterback in that game. So, and who was like, McMillan was good in that game. Coker was good in that game. Like, I, Enrico Dowdle can be used both as a running back and as a pass catcher. Like, I want to believe that the Bucks can win this game, but they've shown us nothing over the last 2 months because that's 8 weeks of football. They've lost 7 of their last 8, like I've said. They've shown nothing in the last 2 months to where you believe that they can do it. Like they have the better roster. Mayfield, Irving, White, Tucker, McMillan, Ibuka, Evans, Godwin, Auden, like the list goes on. Like that team should destroy the Panthers on paper. The problem is they haven't done it, and they haven't done anything the last 2 months. So like, I think that they'll probably win because of just feeding off the home crowd, winning you're in type of thing. But at the same time, man, it's just the Panthers are just playing better sound football. Like that's the problem I have is the Panthers are just a more sound team. Like, I look at the Panthers and I'm just like, okay, you lost the Seahawks they beat, but that game was competitive for in the first half. Until the Seahawks flipped the switch. But all the Panthers games too, they're pretty competitive. Like this is a team that has had. They beat the Packers when the Packers were a lot more healthy. They beat up on the Cowboys, who had a really good offense. Not beat them up, but they beat them. This is a team that has taken care of the Falcons twice, which is a tough ask, especially with how good that defense has been this year. Falcons have had a decent defense all year. And it's a division game, so it's usually tougher, and they've taken care of Atlanta. They beat the Rams. Like that's the one thing I think I hang my hat on is they beat the Rams, and they just beat the Bucks 2 weeks ago, like I said, and then they hung in for at least one half against the Seahawks. So that's better than anything the Bucks have done for the second half of the season. So, I really want to believe in Tampa, and I love a lot of their players. It's just like that game, like that's just it just feels like that's gonna be another low scoring, like 20-17 kind of game, and it's like both teams are gonna look like crap, and both teams won't deserve to get in, but somebody has to kind of game. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I really don't know what to expect out of that game at all. I wish I could have a better preview for it, but it's like this is what these two teams are. This is a crap division. Like we said, this is a division where there's going to be a team getting in that's 9-8, 8-9. Like we said that all year, but we thought that this would have been over by now, and the Bucks would have won it, and the Panthers have been 5 wins on the season. Instead, they're the ones winning.
Instead, we're playing a national TV game, the first game of the weekend, on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Instead, that's what we're doing. The Seahawks are continuing to piss me off. Honestly, like we just talked about the Panthers, and a team that right now is in position to have the number 1 seed in the NFL. Kind of play them like crap for the first half. And that's just unacceptable to me. The turnovers, there was a lot of just fumbles and interceptions. It's just like, if this team takes care of the ball, they're a Super Bowl winner. Really, realistically. Like, that's their only problem.
But that's why I don't trust Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold's a turnover machine. And today, I mean, he got away with a couple, but he also threw a bad pick in the second half. Like Sam Darnold was not great today. Like, so it's like I look at him and I go, I mean, look at that, bro. Again, against the Panthers, you don't even throw for 150 yards, and you threw a pick against them. And the thing is, you should have thrown about 2 more. Especially in the first half.
And there was like 2 or 3 fumbles too, like in total.
Like it's just I all these teams, they're just not giving me a reason to believe they can win a Super Bowl. Like when I look at the Seahawks, I'm like, you can win a Super Bowl because your defense is great, your offense as a whole is good, but there's 2 problems. You guys don't show up in the first half of games, and not only do you not show up in the first half of games, but Sam Darnold just really the offense it's too many turnovers. You can't you cannot lose the turnover battle and win a Super Bowl. You can't. So I just like when I look at teams of the past, like teams that have looked like clear Super Bowl contenders in the past, you knew what those teams were good at, and their weaknesses weren't like glaring. But you look at the NFC South being a crap division, but someone has to win it. But those teams' weaknesses, whoever wins it between the Bucks and Panthers, is glaring. And then with this Niners Seahawks game, especially with the Seahawks, if they win this game, it's like, yeah, but can you trust Sam Darnold to win you 3 games in the playoffs? I don't think so. So
and then for the Niners, I mean, it's case in point what we just saw. We just saw this for 3 hours.
There's 2 problems with the Niners. It's too many injuries, and that defense is god awful. It's awful.
It's much worse than I think we thought it was 2 weeks ago or a week ago. It is so much worse than we actually thought.
It's not good. Their pass defense right now is ranked 24th in the NFL.
It's probably lower after that night.
And after that game, it's probably going to be somewhere between 25, 26. So, like, when your pass defense is that bad, like, you can kind of get away with your run defense being kind of bad, because eventually the quarterback is going to have to throw the ball at some point. But you can't get away with the flip side of having a good run defense but having a bad passing defense, because like that's what the Commanders have had the last 2 years. Really good run defense, or I think actually it's vice versa. But like
point still stands, I think.
Like what I'm saying is like you have to have one side. You can't have one side of the ball. Like if your team is somewhere in the middle defensively, like in this league, like certain teams are maybe 12th or 13th in total defense, but it's like okay, but at least if you're 12th or 13th, at least like their passing defense is maybe like 10th. And their run defense is maybe like 17th, something like that, like where it's kind of close enough. But it's like so many of these defenses, like this is what's crazy is. What the craziest part about this, right, is that the Jaguars right now have the number 1 run defense in the NFL, but I believe the number 1 defense overall, if I'm not mistaken, from what I remember, I'm just gonna look it up. I talked about this a couple days ago, but I can't remember who the hell it is off the top of my head, but. Oh, Texans, right. So the Texans are the number one overall total defense. But it doesn't make sense because when you think about this, number 1 total defense in the NFL, but both their passing and their rushing defense, both of them are ranked 4th overall. So you would figure, 4-4, so it should be 4th. No, when you look at the other teams, like when you look at who's in second, the second place team right now for defense is the Browns. Because the Browns have quite literally the best pass defense in the NFL. But then when you look at where their run defense is, their run defense right now is 14th. That's why they drop so much. So,
and the Browns' offense is just an abysmal piece of crap.
Exactly. So, like, it's like, when you're that far apart, you're not going to win many football games. Like your defense kind of has to at least be somewhat kind of even. You can't have a defense to where it's like your pass defense is like 30th, but your run defense is like second. That's not going to work. So, when I look at the Niners, I'm like, okay, it says that like your defense is the 24th pass defense. Like I don't care what your run defense is, and I believe it's not even that great either. I think they're outside the top 10. So like overall, I think their defense is ranked 18th. I think this year or somewhere close to that. So it's like, you're not going to win many playoff games if your pass defense is going to get you. Like you're getting shredded. You weren't getting shredded by DJ Moore tonight. You were getting shredded by their wide receiver 3. You were getting shredded by Luther Burden, who only up to this point, I believe, had less than 500 yards in the season. And he killed you for damn near 200 yards and a touchdown tonight.
And Caleb still didn't look that good, even if it.
The stats will tell you that Caleb looked good, but if you watch that game, Caleb didn't look great. I mean, he made some good throws, but once again, he completed less than 60% of his passes. Like, this is what I'm saying. Every team has such a weakness that historically, I'm not saying that they can't win it, but historically, the evidence shows you can't win a Super Bowl with these kinds of problems for these different teams. Like
it's going to be such an anomaly whoever wins it.
Exactly. Because somebody has to win it. So I think it's going to be very, and like we said, it's very matchup dependent. But when you go through the list of these teams, right, and we'll get to Ravens Packers, but like just in the NFC alone, let's look at the NFC.
Ravens Steelers. Yes.
Oh yeah. So sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Ravens Steelers. So, but cause I'm thinking of like the NFC teams. So with the NFC, if you look at all the problems, so Seahawks. Turnovers, and a lot of it's Sam Darnold. That's just Sam Darnold's what, third? I think tied for second or third in the NFL in interceptions this year. That's you can't win a game when your quarterback's turning the ball over that much. Then you've got it right now as it currently stands, the Bears, who are the 2 seed. The Bears have a quarterback that can't complete more than 59% of his passes on the season.
The Eagles.
No quarterback has been that low and made it to a title game, I believe, since Mark Sanchez, and they got killed. So
yeah, and we just had the problems for the Packers, the Bucks, the Eagles, the Niners. The Packers without Micah Parsons do not know how to rush the passer or do run defense.
Yeah. And then they're missing arguably their best offensive weapon in Tucker Kraft. So
and then the Rams, we know their secondary is pretty bad, and there's your NFC. Like Jesus,
it's like
Panthers, Bucks. Who cares?
Yeah, that Panthers Bucks is just a shit show. So like, you get to that, and then this is what will lead us into our AFC talk. So I'll skip Ravens Steelers because we'll talk about it. But then the AFC Broncos, your play calling. Abysmal. Play calling is terrible. And then here's the thing, too. Your secondary, well, Riley Moss in particular, is the handsiest corner in the NFL. He's a walking penalty flag. That can hurt you come playoff time. So there's your 2 problems right there. New England, we hesitate because the roster isn't great. They haven't really played anybody. And it just feels like, oh, this is a team that's kind of peaking a little too early. It just feels that way. So it's like they're the ones that have the least problems in terms of actual problems. So but when you have a roster that doesn't have much playoff experience and is still like as young as they are and whatnot, it's just that team usually does not go far. Then you
Jacksonville. What the hell was Jacksonville today? What the hell was that?
Yeah, Jacksonville makes no sense. Jacksonville, I still believe in them, and they didn't look as bad as some other teams did that are in the top, 3 seeds. But
holy crap!
But
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, you were literally looking at that
struggling
game
with Phillip Rivers.
Like that's so bad. Struggling against Phillip Rivers is insane at this point in his career. It's just I don't understand. I mean, and Trevor Lawrence doesn't even throw a touchdown pass against a Colts defense that is hurt and not even good. That's a problem. I mean, listen, you're
He
still
rushed
one,
for one, I think, but
like
um,
yeah,
Houston doesn't have an offensive line, and CJ Stroud, while having a good game yesterday, blah. Chargers, I
yeah.
told you guys the Chargers don't have a defense,
And
it's just
they probably have the worst offensive line left in the playoffs.
yeah, because their whole team is hurt right now.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Buffalo, we talked about Buffalo. So here's the best Steelers Ravens comp I can make. Steelers Ravens is just a slightly better version of Panthers Bucks.
Honestly, yeah. Like, I mean, the quarterback matchup is way better. But
if we get the quarterbacks that we hope we get.
Yeah, if it should be. Yeah. I can't see. I mean, listen, I know Lamar Jackson might be hurt, but I can't see him missing a do or die game. Like
basically a playoff game.
Like that feels like they'll give him, they'll shoot him up with a cortisone shot and be like, hey, get out there.
Cortisone shot in the. Do they do cortisone? Okay, I'm dumb. I don't know cortisone shots. Do they cortisone for the back for like a back contusion?
Is it like epidural? Is that the term for it?
Is that? I don't know. But do they do that for backs? I don't even know.
Epidural versus spinal anesthesia, but epidural needle is a specialized long thin hollow needle used to deliver pain relieving medication into the epidural space, which is the area surrounding the spinal cord to block pain signals commonly used for either childbirth or surgery. So they give him that shot. They really wanted to, if it's that bad. But
we've heard things that it's that bad. Is
this like preseason Matt Stafford's back bad?
Well, no, because as wild as this sounds for the MVP of the NFL right now, and we can debate Drake May, in the coming weeks when we do our award show, but his is chronic. It's ongoing. He still has it.
Yeah.
So it's not that comparable.
Because I don't know what exactly happened.
I don't know how to explain it, but what I heard is something similar to like a back contusion, but I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, but I don't think that would keep you out for weeks. That would keep you out for maybe a week, maybe a game, but not weeks. I mean, it is.
But no, like honestly, look, the Steelers. Oh my god, I feel bad saying this. Aaron Rodgers, well, he does look better than he did with the Jets. It's not that much better.
It's not enough. Aaron Rodgers,
it's not much better, dude.
It's crazy because Aaron Rodgers this year, like if there's one word I can use to describe him, it's like people always say, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers, he still got it." Aaron Rodgers to me this year is just efficient, but efficient.
It's serviceable. It's serviceable.
But it doesn't mean good enough to win it all. That's the problem. So it's like is Aaron Rodgers efficient every week or most weeks? Yes. But the problem is that it's a lot of it. He's not the old Aaron Rodgers where it's like he's flicking the ball with his wrist 65 yards for a touchdown. He's not going to do that anymore. It's not the quarterback he is. He's taking his checkdowns. They're handing the ball off a lot. They're trying to control time of possession. That's kind of what the Steelers are doing now. And it's not enough. And then when your wide receiving core really can't stay on the field or like DK with the boneheaded fan incident, when you see what that wide receiver core is minus DK Metcalf, it's not good at all. It's not good at all. So that's just. I think there's too much.
The running game with Warren and Gainwell is so underrated. It's so good.
But it's just like,
it's good, but it's not.
It's underrated, but it's underrated, but they're not the kind of guys I love Kenny G, but those guys.
It doesn't elevate a team.
It's not game breaking. It's not Derrick Henry. It's not James Cook. It's not Jonathan Taylor. It's not those guys. It's good and it can win you games like it has this year, but it's not that game breaker where it's hey, if Aaron Rodgers is having a tough game, they can elevate the offense. They just can't. So it's And the thing is, the play calling for the Steelers is like it's just a head scratcher for me too. Some weeks, so I'm like, what the hell are you doing there? So,
But because
like,
you know who their OC is, right?
isn't it still Arthur Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. And then for the Ravens side, we saw
know
them on Peacock on Friday, and I was like, they're good, but it's just like kind of whatever. Like I didn't. How much did you take away from the game on Saturday night? Like
not much, really not much. Just because I don't think, you know, I don't think that a win over a completely like the Packers B team is going to change my opinion on them. Like the Packers B team still put up 24 points on you.
yeah.
So like that to me that's a problem. If you're letting those guys put up 24 points on you and they're not even close to healthy, then it's still telling me that your defense is still bad. That it's still really bad. So I mean, listen, there's the same team that the Ravens, whose offense, doesn't really score, 30 plus points a game. I mean, today they did, but usually doesn't score 30 plus points. Patriots beat them, put up 28 on them. Steelers just beat them a few weeks ago, put up 27 on them, and that's that. Bengals put up 32 on them before. What else we got? Like it's like the Texans, who have no offense all year, put up 44 on them early in the season. Like the Lions, who are not in the playoffs, put up 38 on them early in the season. So like it's it's just tough when especially they've played better as of late, but I still don't trust that defense in big moments. And now we have the Derrick Henry fumble issues. He's fumbling. Like he doesn't have the most fumbles in his career. He doesn't have the most fumbles in his career in a season. I think that happened a few years ago. I think he had 6 that he lost 1 year. But the problem is his hands are.
It didn't show up last night though.
Yeah, but it's still coming at the worst times. Like it's like I look at. I think I look at like the Ravens, and I think if they're gonna have any success, you have to just. I know you don't want to trust him because you're afraid of his hands because of those, especially those early season fumble issues. But this is a guy that, outside of those fumble issues, has only had 1 fumble lost the rest of the year. You've got to just lean. And Harbaugh even said, hey, we have to lean into Derrick. Like he should be on the field and on that final drive they had and whatever, like against the Patriots and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, yes, you should be, but actually do it. Like if Derrick Henry is on that field and can dominate, the Ravens can not only chew up clock, but you're going to score touchdowns because it's Derrick Henry. The guy's a beast. The guy probably ended up playing until he's 35. And hell, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he actually has an outside. I mean, it's not much of a shot, but he has an outside shot. And we don't even talk about this. I don't know why no one's really starting to talk about this. He does have an outside shot of breaking Emmitt Smith's rushing record. So
the one thing I will say is we saw this last night. We saw Snoop Hundley. I almost said Scoop. I always mess him up. That would not be good. We saw how mobile he can be because he's very much like a Lamar light in a lot of ways. The biggest thing that the Ravens have to decide for that game on Sunday is can Lamar, because here's the thing. Lamar with the back injury and his leg and everything, he just isn't as mobile anymore. So maybe, as dumbfounding as this sounds, and we'll have to see if TJ Watt plays. That's a big factor in this.
Yeah.
But maybe it's better to just play Hundley because he's just faster. And you need that speed against a defense that just isn't very good north to south or side to side. Or east to west, I should say. It just isn't. Maybe it's just better to start Hundley, as unbelievable as that sounds.
I think it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. I think that, because it's like, I've seen a lot out of him too. Like it's like when they've kept the offense kind of simplified for him and be like, hey, either just let Derrick Henry eat or just take the quick completions and whatnot. He's done that. So it's just a matter of, to me, just how, keeping, if you're going to play him, keep the offense simple. I know that you don't want, And I'm not saying simple as in like simplify to make the Steelers, give them an easy game, then blow the division and blow the playoff spot. But at the
I
same
mean,
time,
Huntley knows the playbook. That's his.
But yeah,
that's-
but I still don't want him doing the things that Lamar would normally do. Like, because he's not going to fit a tight window throw in there. He's not going to, he's not the accurate passer that Lamar is. Like, he's just not. So it's like, but what I think is too, I don't want to see, like, listen, I know Zay Flowers has game breaking speed and the guy's shifty and whatnot, but I don't want to see Zay Flowers get a ton of touches in this game either because he can't hold on to a football. He always fumbles at the worst times possible. I don't want to see that guy get many touches.
Two players with fumble issues, Henry and Flowers.
That's basically that's my secondary concern, because my concern with them is still defensively, because even with the better performances, I want to look something up, because I'm actually very curious, because I haven't actually looked all year to see where the Ravens have fallen to. Total defense, the Ravens are still 27th.
Gross.
Even after playing better over the recent weeks, their pass defense, so 27th for total defense. Their pass defense wow. So their pass defense is 27th. Their rush defense is 13th, which is right kind of in the middle. Yeah. So realistically, I mean, that's still really bad for a team that's kind of figured it out the last couple weeks. Not really. So I cannot trust that defense, and I can't trust their ball security. That's my two big issues with the Ravens, really.
Yeah, I hear that. I don't know who to take in this one yet, because we have to see who's playing.
If Lamar
TJ Watt included, by the way.
Yeah. And I think, and with DK being out and that offense looking so bad, the Steelers offense looking so bad with him out today, if Lamar plays, I'm probably going to pick the Ravens. Like, I can't.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
Like, to me, it's like if Lamar plays, I need to know if he's healthy. If he's like 70% of what he is, then I'm like, oh, then that's not good. But if he's like ready to go, like if he's like 90+%, I probably would pick the Ravens to win that game.
I think what's gonna matter to me is like if Hundley plays but TJ Watt plays, then I might take the Steelers. But if Hundley plays and Watt doesn't play, then I might still take the Ravens, because I like the game-breaking speed Hundley has and what he showed on Saturday. So, tough one. Anything else before we go? You want to do the number one pick bowl? The Raiders were basically tanking that whole. Not only were they tanking the whole week and pissing off Max Crosby and pissing off everybody, it felt like they were tanking that game, dude.
When you were giving me the play-by-play on it, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because it seemed like every 2 seconds, like, oh yeah, false start by the Raiders, then a legal contact, then a freaking an interception or two by Geno Smith, and I'm like, at that point, if you're gonna play that bad football-wise, listen, they've been bad all year, so it could just be the fact that they've been playing just that bad, and they're just fed up and had enough.
I'll be honest with you. As you know, I'm a football fan to a head. I hate dumb football, but I watch dumb football. I've watched enough Raiders to know that game just felt like they didn't care. They just felt like it was over and they didn't care.
It felt like a tank. That felt like a tank. Like,
and by the way, that's what they were leaning towards all week. No Brock Bowers. Pissing off Max Crosby. Which, I mean, I'm sure Max Crosby's injury is nasty, but he clearly could play if he wanted to, and you didn't want to give him that. So, okay.
There's the video of Max Crosby literally doing shoot-around at his home gym.
With his kid, just chilling with his kid.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm not denying that he has some sort of meniscus tear that he needs surgery on. I'm not denying that either. I'm just saying.
He wouldn't play basketball on it either.
That's what's weird about it. Yeah.
Like, I genuinely believe, and the thing is, the Raiders have been bad all year, but my God, they haven't been this bad to where it's like every play was a penalty or a bad throw by Gino.
It's
or
not
like,
even close. No.
no.
They were
And then
just giving up.
And then the Giants actually played that game like they had a Super Bowl to win. Like,
Well,
like,
the Giants to me, because I watched it until it was 27-3 or something, 27-10 or whatever it was.
yeah,
The Giants just felt like they were coasting. They were just like, "This is hilarious. Let's just win this game." That's what it felt like to me. They were just like, "This is stupid. Whatever. Let's go win this game." And yeah, the Giants also made some questionable moves to try to lose this game, but Mike Kafka is not gonna. He maybe still wants a shot at the job or somewhere in the future in the NFL. Who knows what happens to Pete Carroll? He's not going to tank a game just to tank a game. Nor does that roster is so young. Do you think those young guys want to do anything to jeopardize their future career? No, absolutely not. No. So they played with some level of effort today.
Yeah.
And that's commendable, even if it hurts you in the long run. So
I really wonder what the hell is going to happen now after that whole Tank Bowl thing has now kind of shaken up, and we can kind of see, hey, now the Giants no longer have that number 1 overall pick. Now it's like, now I'm wondering, but it's like if you're the Raiders, because you know how it's funny every year we do like, you know, team needs and whatnot, and everybody talks about like the Raiders literally outside of tight end need everything. They need
tight end, running back, because Gentry's actually had a spectacular year, especially considering the fact that offensive line has been terrible. Yep. They literally need to replace everything, and on top of it, dude, I think Crosby's so fed up he's going to want out. I don't see any reason why he would stay. I really don't.
It would not surprise me. And I mean, you know.
And here's the thing. Crosby has been steadfast about, I want to be a Raider. I love being a Raider. He wants to play being hurt or whatever the injury thing is. He cares about this team and being a leader. And you do him like that, and you say, like, at the end of the day, let the player make the decision that he wants to make. Yeah. It's consulting. It's stuff like that. It's respect for your franchise player. If you're going to treat him like that, it's better for the league if he's somewhere else. Let's just be honest.
Like, and the thing is, too, that they're, you know, he might say all the right things, which he has, and a lot of players would. But here's also, you know, there's only so much you can take of losing and being kind of disrespected by your own franchise. Like they won't even like they're marketing you as like a cornerstone of the franchise, but yet they're not building the franchise to actually win anything. So you're just stuck on a losing team. Like it's
who clearly doesn't value. Who I think what he realized when that whole situation went down is, oh, you really don't value me like I value you. It's kind of like a relationship. It's like a romantic relationship. You just clearly don't, regardless of the injury and all that stuff. He clearly just realized that he isn't valued.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and if a player even gets a whiff of that, even gets an inkling of that, it's like, boom, I'm gonna go find somewhere else. Either trade me, release me, do whatever you gotta do, but let me go. Done.
Yeah, and I would be stunned if he's still a Raider at least by June or July. By the time we hit training camp, if he's still a Raider, I'd be stunned.
Who would probably? Well, we'll figure it out, I guess, then. But I wonder who the best fit would be for him.
We have to figure it out then, because I have no idea how free agency is going to shake out. And by the way, I have no idea how this is going to shake out. Is he going to be back at practice Monday morning? Is he? I have no idea. Right? I have no idea. So we have to see how this shakes out in the next few days. At the same time.
I don't know. I really, really hope, like, guys like that, like, Myles Garrett chose to stay on the Browns because of the money. So clearly he didn't care about you know.
And Crosby got paid already. but it doesn't matter that he got paid already. A team will gladly take on that contract.
Yeah.
Gladly take it.
Well, it's like
Gladly.
like the thing with Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett said he wanted out, and then they threw the bag at him and said, "Nope, I'm staying." Like it's like, okay, so you clearly only care about the money. Max Crosby got
Crosby
paid.
already has it.
Yeah,
He already
Crosby got paid and deserved to get paid, and now and the thing is, he's still saying the right things, and you're just spitting in his face. Like it's so bad, so bad.
Yeah, the optics of it are bad, and I don't know what I'm just trying to figure out. Is the injury real? It clearly looks like it's real because it is what they say it is. But at the same time, he puts out that video. It's like, what the hell is going on here? It's just like we have to see how it shakes out over the next few weeks, but I don't know. Yeah. The one thing I also can't believe, and I don't know how much Tom Brady has a say in this whole thing in terms of like winning or losing or whatever. I have a feeling Tom Brady is going to watch that game back and be fairly disgusted whenever he does. Because that's just disgusting. It's just despicable football.
Yeah.
Like we have here, you and I both have 4 eyes. He has 2 eyes that has won 7 Super Bowls. How do you think he feels when he watches that back?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. It's just it's despicable. By the way, really quick, the number 1 pick is not clinched. They still have to lose next week to make it official.
And who are they
Which,
playing?
to be honest, Atlanta. Is it Atlanta?
They'll probably lose.
I think it is. Is that correct? I'll check. I'm trying to remember if it's not Atlanta because it's division. Why did I think it was Atlanta? It is. It's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs.
My God! So it's like it's
It's a Lunacoon. That's gonna be one of the worst games of the weekend, by the way.
Well, Lunacoon looks better than anything the Raiders have had at quarterback all season last week.
Yeah.
So
Raiders are gonna lose still.
I think the Chiefs will win that game. Yeah.
Is it Atlanta? I think maybe they talked about Atlanta being like middle of the pack in picks or something, and they mentioned it or whatever. But yeah. So they're totally gonna lose that game. Yeah. Jesus Christ, it's awful. That was I was thinking, and I threw it out to you while I was having that game on. Because I watched both games in the afternoon. I said to you, that game, the Tank Bowl, the number 1 pick bowl, that's one of my picks for Pot Cookie's game of the year. I'm at least nominating it because that was atrocious, even if it's just by one side.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even because that both sides are bad, just because the Raiders were openly tanking that game. Right there is enough.
Yeah. So, and again, I only watched basically a half of it, and even one half told me it's a nominee. Like, come on, dude. Yeah. Just, and now I understand why the national TV audience, basically everyone got the Bills game, and only like the local areas got the toilet bowl because, yeah. I subject myself to it just so we can have these conversations. Otherwise, I could care less.
You are a different breed, Rob. But the thing is, it does make sense because it's like, but these are how bad these teams are because we don't have to watch. We only have to watch 5 minutes of them throughout a whole season, and we know exactly what they are. So
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. All right, I just wanted to get the toilet bowl out of there because I know you people would be interested in what we thought of it, and the answer is we're pretty disgusted, as expected. Actually, more disgusted than I thought we would be. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
I think that's about right. Anything else before we go and get ready for tomorrow? If the Falcons win, the AFC South gets real dicey tomorrow night. So. It's not just win or get in. It's what the Falcons also do.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, wait a minute. Is it
Falcons have to win both, and then Carolina gets in no matter what. I think is what it is. And we know the Falcons are frisky, so
well, yeah. And like I said, if they just would have started Kirk Cousins sooner in the season, they would have probably been better off. They probably would have won the division.
they probably would.
Like, oh,
All right. Well, anything else before we go? We're not gonna do post credits because we're beat after the holidays. We'll do Bad Santa tomorrow.
And 2 hours of talking about really bad football today, and having some technical difficulties a little bit, for whatever reason, whether it's Scoop's voice or Shane being in another, being out in the ocean, or hell, even me having a new mic that I just got. So
sounded great.
So we've covered. I think this is the one show where in 2 hours we've covered everything. We've had technical difficulties. We've had bad football. We've had some good discussions on certain teams. We've ran through.
We've had me making people lose their minds as always with whatever I say.
Well, yeah. You always having the most questionable line of the night.
The Eagles game being awful.
Which it doesn't surprise me anymore. I don't know how this team won 11 games this year, up to date. But it's a wild year, and I'm so glad the regular season ends next week. I know.
God. I'm just ready for the playoffs, dude. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm so ready. Well, we'll see you all tomorrow night. Hopefully, Scoop's voice is back to 100%. We have. Speaking of questionable, we have a very questionable movie tomorrow that we're really excited to get to.
To say the least. This is everybody's last Christmas gift of the holiday season because listen, we couldn't get to it before Christmas, and it kind of wouldn't have made sense to. So we're going to get to it after Christmas. So we have one Christmas gift left for everybody to unwrap, and it's probably the dirtiest one, the raunchiest one. I don't know how you would describe it, but
the way I frame it is there's certain stuff that if we touch it, we will be banned from the internet.
Yeah,
and there's stuff that, but that being said, the stuff that we can talk about and touch is actually really interesting. So it makes it worth it.
Yeah, for those that don't know, and we've said on the show for weeks, but we did Bad Santa for Christmas. So Bad Santa is the movie.
Bad Santa 1, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about. Probably, I'm excited for the game tomorrow. I really am. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it actually. All right, well, for Brandon, for Scoop, for Shane, all the way out in Hawaii on the beach. It's like Death Stranding 2, that on the beach video game. For Brandon, for Shane, for Scoop, for myself, Robert, we will see you all tomorrow night. Peace out, everybody.
See everybody.